All the cryptographic systems have two components, that is encryption and decryption. In case of encryption, which is done by the sender, what happens is sender enters a plain text or a clear text, which is nothing but a clearly understandable message, along with a key which we also call as password, which is internally a secret number. So my information, which is a plain text or a clear text which is clearly readable, combines with a key in the encryption software and produces something which we call as ciphertext. Ciphertext is visible, but it's a gibberish, not understandable to anybody. It's a set of random numbers which do not make sense and is not understandable to anybody. So this is what a sender does in order to send his information in a secure manner. His plain text combines with a key and gets converted into a gibberish which we call a ciphertext. So let's see this with an example here. Alice, hello Alice is my plain text or the message, and it combines with this key and gets converted into a gibberish XOAK3. So hello Alice gets converted into XOAK3 O$2RJ, which doesn't make any sense. Now the receiving end, what it does is it uses the same key to convert the gibberish back into the message. This is called as decryption. So here is my original data. So one very good example of a simple basic cryptography can be shifting characters by one position. So like A becomes B, B becomes C, C becomes D, E becomes F. So he is a good guy is my original data, and let the key be 1. That means number of positions to be shifted. So H becomes I, E becomes F, I becomes J, S becomes T, A becomes B, G becomes F. So he is a good guy becomes if IF JT BF PPE FVJ. And the receiving end also knows the key, and it knows that with a key value of 1 it has to shift back one character. So again I becomes H, F becomes E, J becomes I, and so on, and thus the receiving end gets back the information. So this is one of the oldest example of a cryptography, and this kind of cryptographic method is called as Caesar cipher. It was developed and invented by Julius Caesar, and it's almost 2000 years old. But this kind of technique is very easily attackable. So cryptanalysis is the method of attacking such kind of crypto systems. So a cryptographer tries to convert his message into a not understandable format, and a cryptanalyst is a man who tries to use this kind of information, this gibberish, without knowing the key. He tries to come back to the original data. So how can this kind of Caesar cipher be attacked? So because all the characters in the English language have a fixed frequency. For example, E has the highest frequency, then T has the highest frequency. Now if in this scrambled information a particular character, say Z, has the highest frequency, then it means that Z is corresponding to E. Similarly, some other character has the lowest frequency, then it means that it is corresponding to Q. And similarly, thus we can map the system, and that's why these kind of cryptographic systems where one character is replaced by only another character is called as monoalphabetic cipher. So these kind of ciphers are called as monoalphabetic cipher because one character is converted into a particular another character. So for example, here H becomes I and nothing else becomes I. Similarly, E only becomes F and nothing else becomes F. So this is a monoalphabetic cipher. So monoalphabetic ciphers can be easily attacked by the frequency analysis. So they came up with another method later on, which is called as polyalphabetic cipher. So unlike only H becomes I, in polyalphabetic cipher more than one characters can become some other character. For example, in a polyalphabetic cipher, not only H will become I, but maybe even J will become I. Why this happens? Because we combine the characters. For example, if the plain text is must come now, so M and U are combined together, S and T are combined together, C and O are combined together, and then M and U are checked correspondingly, that where M lies and where U lies, and then corresponding character R is picked. So for example, M and U are combined together, so M and U becomes R. So this kind of cryptographic system is called as polyalphabetic ciphers, and they continued to be used for almost 1000 years. until during the era of another kind of polyalphabetic cipher is like Wigner cipher. Here again the combination is done in a similar way like M and U. So M and U are mapped here, and like then we come to know what corresponds to M and U together. So the character which corresponds to M and U, from here we see the M in the map, and from there we see the U in the map, and the point of intersection is picked as G. So M and U will become G. So this kind of technique is called as Wigner cipher, and there are these kind of charts are called as Wigner charts, which are prepared by both the parties and are held by both the parties. So this technique of polyalphabetic ciphers continued to be used till recently, until 1863 during the Crimean Wars, after which they came up with a special kind of examination technique which is called as Kaczynski examination, where the pair of characters are mashed together for the frequency analysis, and that's how the code was broken. So this is all about the basics of cryptography, the historical glorious era of cryptography. So primarily it had monoalphabetic ciphers, polyalphabetic ciphers, Wigner ciphers. A kind of Wigner cipher was also used during World War II. It was a kind of polyalphabetic cipher, and the German Enigma machine was very popular, and it was quite difficult to break. Here the Wigner ciphers, Wigner chart were replaced by rotor machines of a machine, and those rotor gears were used to electronically convert the chart into electrical signals, and that electrical signals were transmitted across the telegraph. So essentially it had the Wigner chart in it, but that Wigner chart was mechanized in a way with the help of gears and motors with electrical signals.